Today I'm making an apple snack cake. Welcome to White Shadow Fare. Make it homemade and make it with love. This recipe calls for a boxed cake mix. I didn't want to use a boxed cake mix, so I made a homemade version using 4 cups of granulated sugar that I put in a blender and mixed for 30 to 60 seconds just to make the granules just a bit smaller. Add the sugar to a large mixing bowl. Add 5 cups of flour. This homemade cake mix will make the equivalent of 2 boxes of cake mix. 1 cup of buttermilk powder. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. This homemade cake mix was super easy to make, and it makes the equivalent of 2 boxes. You're going to use half of it for today's recipe. I weighed mine out to figure out what half was. In the description box, I will have the ingredients that need to be added to make this into a white cake. So you're going to keep half of it, and the other half you're going to package to use later on. This recipe calls for 1 box of vanilla cake mix and a 21-ounce can of apple pie mix, but I had homemade apple pie filling that I wanted to use. To the cake mix, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 cup sour cream, 3 room temperature eggs, 1/4 of a cup water, and add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, as I'm trying to make things more homemade and less processed, I didn't want to use a regular box cake mix, but you could certainly do that. That's what the original recipe calls for. So you're going to add your batter to a 13x9 pan that has been greased well. And my apples were quite big, so I cut them into smaller pieces. And you're going to just kind of put this all over the top. So once you have that evenly dispersed, you're going to go ahead and pop this into a preheated 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for 40 to 55 minutes, making sure a toothpick goes in the center and comes out clean. Once it is cooled, you're going to make a thin frosting to drizzle over the top of the cooled cake. I used 1 tablespoon of melted butter, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk, and 1 to 2 cups of powdered sugar. You need a very thin batter to drizzle over the top. This is an absolutely delicious cake. We actually enjoyed it for breakfast as well as a snack cake in the evening. Thank you for joining me here at White Shadow Fare. I hope you'll give this recipe a try. If you haven't already done so, I'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe.